David Bay here for MuscularDevelopment.com. We are in Chicago for the 2015 NPC Junior Nationals. I am hanging out here with Nate Ducsek. Nate, for everybody at MuscularDevelopment.com, not familiar with you, give us a little background about yourself, where you're from, how you got started in competing, and what are some of the shows that you've done leading here into the 2015 Junior Nationals?
The first show I did was the Adela Garcia Classic 2 years ago in Austin. And actually, my current coach, Jonathan's kind of who encouraged me to get to bodybuilding. I'd moved to Texas about 4 or 5 years ago, and I just had a real solid base from a lot of powerlifting sports in high school. And he just said, man, you need to compete. And, just kind of wasn't something I really thought about. But as I started growing and, getting more interested in the shows, a lot of friends with the bodybuilder guys, I thought I'd give it a shot. So did the Adela, took fourth in open light heavy, and then actually got together with Jonathan. We started working the next year, went to Europa, Dallas, and took second in the heavies there, and we just went back to the drawing board. I had a few areas I wanted to improve on, more size on my back, and kind of balance my hamstrings with my quads and a little more shoulders, and I think we hit on all of them pretty good, bringing a lot better package this year. So
sure. Did you do a national qualifier this year, or qualifier rather, in 2015, or are you coming off your qualifier?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So second there, and then that's what kind of got me headed to this show. So.
Okay. Well, one of the things that we don't like to do too much here at Muscular Development is rely too heavily on pictures that float around on the internet. We were actually just talking that off camera a little bit, but the pictures that did pop up, you look pretty fantastic. So when you said you've been competing for 2 years, in my head I'm like, wow, Jesus, not very long. So you're going to be a heavyweight this year?
Yep, weighed in right at 225, so we'll be.
So you basically just made weight.
We hit it perfect. Yep.
Now, as far as your prep for this show, are you one of these guys who puts on 40 or 50 pounds and has to peel down a lot, or do you stay a little bit closer to competition shape?
When we started the prep, right about 260. So, I had a really, really productive off season. I kept my diet really clean. And basically the only thing we changed going into the prep was, pulled out a few, dirty meals during the week, and my food stayed the same all the way up to the show. We might have just dropped the carbs last week or so, but other than that, it allowed me to train a lot harder. I kept a lot leaner. I didn't have to kill myself on the cardio and have a lot more energy to push through the workouts, and I think actually make some gains and some improvements, as we came closer. So
yeah, it's definitely easier not having to drop 55 pounds getting ready for a show. Yeah. Now as far as training for bodybuilding, you just said you just got ready for a show a couple years ago. I mean, if you look at your physique, one of the things that we tend to see with power lifters, and I think a lot of these guys will agree, we'll see a lot of back muscle, usually a little bit of a lack of a quad sweep with power lifters, and sometimes a thicker waist. By the pictures that we've seen, you're not dealing with any of that stuff other than the thick back. When you when you kind of got into bodybuilding as opposed to getting away from powerlifting, and did you switch up your training styles a lot, or did you kind of keep the basics of powerlifting in your bench, your squats, and your deads?
I kept those basics, and I think probably the last year or two I kind of eased up off the legs, especially the quad movements, because I knew it was kind of the opposite of what a lot of guys have. I think a bigger upper body, a smaller lower body. So I was kind of doing it backwards. So I started doing my back workouts twice a week these last 2 years, going into Europa and this show, to try to even that out and then just focus more on my hamstrings on the bottom. And, I kept a lot of the basic movements in still just to keep my size and keep growing, but that definitely helped me balance it out a lot more. So.
All right, well, the training regimen and the game plan looks to be working pretty well. We will find out in just 2 days, guys, for the men's prejudging. Saturday starts at 9 o'clock. Don't forget, tomorrow we got fabulous Female Friday. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. Starting at 2 o'clock, so make sure to check back to MuscularDevelopment.com for our live play-by-play, all of our pictures and all the updates. But for right now, we're going to let Nate get going, so best of luck for myself and everybody at MuscularDevelopment.com. Appreciate your time for the interview.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for us, guys. So this is David Bay, NPC heavyweight competitor Nate Ducsek from the 2015 NPC Junior Nationals here in Chicago. David Bay here for MuscularDevelopment.com. We are in Chicago for the 2015 NPC Junior National Championships. I'm hanging out here with men's physique competitor Gene Komsky. Gene, for everybody at MuscularDevelopment.com not familiar with yourself, give us a little bit of background. Where you're from, how you got started in competing, and some of the things that you've done leading here into the 2015 Junior Nationals.
Absolutely. I started competing about 2.5 years ago. I'm always into the gym, just kind of wanted to take it to another level. I'm actually from Chicago, so did a local show, the Midwest Classic Classic, Kevin Noble's show.
Okay.
Took the overall at the first show. Did the Arnold right after that last year. Took 5th at the Arnold. Did juniors last year. Took 5th here.
Okay.
And then did Badger State in Wisconsin and Milwaukee in October and won that show. So back here to see what I can do, see how much the improvements have helped, and looking forward to it.
So pretty solid track record as far as your competition history, winning 2 shows, doing well at a national level. Now with the men's physique division having their guidelines that restrict size and conditioning and stuff like that, when you're going from show to show, what are some of the things that you're focusing on? Again, with bodybuilders and stuff, it's always no such thing as too big, so you're always focusing on trying to make size gains and things of that nature. As a men's physique competitor looking to improve your placings on a national level, what are some of the things that you're focusing on?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is conditioning. You look at any show, and the bigger guys don't necessarily always do the best. It's always the guys that are the best conditioned, top to bottom. Obviously in men's physique, abs, obliques, back are huge. So I think conditioning for me has been something that I've tried to keep consistent. I try, no matter what size I come in, even if I look a little smaller on stage, it's conditioning is key for me, and I always try to come in, if I'm not the biggest one up there, I'll be definitely the most conditioned, so that's always the key.
Well, and it's also an illusion, as we all know. Sometimes 5 pounds less of fat makes you look like you got 5 pounds of muscle on somebody. Before we wrap things up here, Gene, anybody you want to give a shout out to, thank yous, and things of that nature?
Yep, absolutely. Rep It Out Clothing, my new sponsor, Justin Mackey, who I think you guys just met a little while ago. Definite, shout out to them. Helped me out a lot, and we're looking to do good things at this show. Justin's competing as well, the co-owner of the company, so a couple other competitors in bikini that you guys might meet are competing as well, so hopefully as a group we'll do good.
All right, well that's going to be it for us guys. So once again, from the 2015 NPC Junior National Championships, this is David Bay with men's physique competitor Gene Komsky, wishing you the best of luck from musculardevelopment.com.